to the West Wall Fieldhouse and ask you to please rise for the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Mason High School Pep Band under the direction of Mason High School senior Avery Kirchensteiner.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mason High School. Women's basketball on tap tonight as the Bulldogs play host to the Eastern Quakers. We're going to kick it down to the court for starting lineups. You're watching Lansing TV 12, Mason Women's Basketball.
For the Quakers, guard, sophomore number 2, Liliana Montgomery. For the Bulldogs, at guard, sophomore number 2, Sienna Maya. For the Quakers, at forward, junior number 13, Azaria Wilson. For the Bulldogs, at forward, senior number 10, Grace For the Quakers, at forward, junior number 20, Leah Palazzo. For the Bulldogs, at guard, senior number 11, Ava Ruska. For the Quakers, at guard, junior number 22, Rihanna Lewis. For the Bulldogs, at guard, junior number 15, Josie. For the Quakers, at guard, freshman number 30, Olivia Sampaio. For the Bulldogs, at forward, senior wearing number 24, Jocelyn Garrett. The Quakers are coached by Mr. Tim Wells, assisted by Dante Jones, Coach E. The Mason Bulldogs are coached by Scott Shannon, assisted by Dan.
All right, we are ready to get this one underway. First, we'd like to thank our community sponsors for today's game, the Robert Downing Group at Keller Williams Realty, and the Studio Shop in downtown Williamston, featuring hundreds of Michigan-themed gifts. Mason comes into this one 2-8. Eastern looking for their first win of the year at 0-7. Mason's last 5 losses, 4 of them have come by 5 points or less. This is a team that feels like they're close, but haven't been able to sort things out down the stretch of games. We are underway with the tip. Mason moving left to right across your screen, wearing all white. Eastern in the blue and gold. Down into the corner, Josie later, thinking about it, decides to pull for 3. No good off the heel. Rebound, Montgomery coming the other way. Down low to Rihanna Lewis. They're going to work it back out to Ileana Montgomery. 15 against St. John's in Eastern's last game. 7:30 on the first quarter clock. Olivia Sampaio. Montgomery pulls up from the line, in and out, no good. Offensive rebound, Wilson, back to Montgomery. Montgomery tries to drive. Ball's knocked loose, picked up by Wilson underneath. Azaria Wilson works it back out to the top. Sampaio being defended by Later all the way up near the logo. Later getting a hand in there, and she takes it away from her. They're going to call the jump ball. First possession error of the game will favor the Quakers. 7:05 to go, first quarter, no score. Ileana Montgomery, Azaria Wilson, Leah Palacios, Rihanna Lewis, and Olivia Sampaio, the starters for the Quakers. Montgomery picks up the screen from Sampaio, tries to split the defense, lost the ball. It's going to be a foul, I believe, on Ava Ruster. They're going to get Grace O'Berry, her first. Team's first. Celia Amaya, Grace O'Berry, Ava Ruster, Josie Later, and Jocelyn Shattuck, the starters for Mason. Mason, get the takeaway coming the other way. The layup is good. Josie Later on the board, and the Bulldogs strike first. 6:50 to go in the first, 2-0. Ileana Montgomery over the timeline, tries to drive the lane, moves inside, off the front iron, no good. Rebound O'Berry. Montgomery over too early, long pass ahead, looking for Later, trying to save it at the baseline, but it bounds out. It will be Eastern basketball. Expecting a defensive battle tonight. The Bulldogs only score about 35 points a game, only give up about 41. Cross-court pass is knocked up in the air by O'Berry, and Montgomery commits the foul. First on the Quakers. Ruster will inbound from in front of the Eastern bench. 6:29 to go here in the first. Inbounds all the way back to Later at midcourt. Over to Jocelyn Shattuck. Picks up her dribble. Under pressure from Sampaio. They're going to feed inside. Amaya tries to split the defense, and the ball is kicked out over the baseline. It will stay with the Bulldogs. 6:18 to go here in the first. Key matchup to watch tonight will be Jocelyn Shattuck and Leah Palacios, the two respective bigs for these teams. Ball fed inside. Shattuck lost the ball. Knocked out of bounds by Eastern. Looked like Amaya might have had the last touch on it, but it will stay with the Bulldogs. 6:12 to go in the first. But 6'1" Palacios had 10 against St. John's in Eastern's last game. Mason's been trying to figure out the situation at the 5 this whole season as that bounce pass is knocked away out over the baseline. It will once again be Mason ball. Shattuck will inbound. Ruster working around Later. Wants three. Got it! Josie Later knocks it down. 5-0 Bulldogs, all from Later. Mason with the press. Ball turned over. Underneath Ruster. Looking for O'Berry. Layup no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It will be Quakers basketball. Wilson inbounds. Under 6 to go in the first. Mason continuing this full court press. Trying to test the Quakers ball handlers. Good long pass ahead to Palacios. And the floater is good. And the Quakers are on the board. 5.5 to go in the first. Ruster dribbles through the pressure, and we got a foul on Wilson, her first. Second on the Quakers. Shattuck will inbound. Ruster, the senior, over to Later. Cross court to O'Berry, picks up the double team. Shattuck down low. Tries to drive the baseline, swings it all the way to the far corner. A little high for Later and out of bounds. Bulldogs have been running this offense through Later so far. 5:15 to go. Quakers trying to get Montgomery going. She's over 2 from the floor so far. Montgomery long pass is picked off by Shattuck. Shattuck sends a long pass the other way to Ruster underneath. Layup is good. Bulldogs turn defense into offense quickly, and now they're on the press again, and stolen by O'Berry. Feeds underneath to Ruster, who scores again. Timeout Quakers. The press, too much to handle. And the Mason Bulldogs have a 9-2 lead with 4:51 to go here in the first. The Robert Adden Group at Keller Williams Realty spends a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, it's complicated, and it's complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. Under 5 to go in this first quarter, 9-2 the score. Mason will continue to press. They're going to try to trap Montgomery with 2. Montgomery finds Wilson, and the Quakers will get it into the front court. And then immediately that pass is picked off. Sampaio tried to get it across. It's picked off by Later, who takes it the distance and lays it in. 6 of Mason's 11 points have come in transition as Montgomery's fouled. Trying to get the ball up the floor quickly. It's going to be on Shattuck, her first. Inbound to Palacios. Stuck in the corner. O'Barry on the pressure. Palacios, that 6'1" frame, allowing her to get the ball over to Montgomery, who pulls up for 3. That one comes up short. It's knocked out of bounds. And it will be Bulldogs basketball. Quakers really need Montgomery to get going. One of their more reliable scorers. Already in a 9-point hole halfway through this first quarter. Later comes across, gives it up to O'Barry. Shattuck works into the corner. Amaya puts it on the floor, puts it up. No good, but she's fouled. That's going to be on Rihanna Lewis, her first. Team's third. 11-2 Bulldogs with 4:06 to go in this first quarter. Amaya's first is good. Changes on for the Quakers. Chidubem Osakwe will check in. Second free throw for Amaya. Is good. Pass in is picked off and given right back to Christy Palacios, the other Quaker who's just checked in. Montgomery tries to rip it across to Palacios. Pokes it ahead looking for Lewis. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Mason ball once again, 13-2. Mason will make their first change. Zoe Went, the sophomore, will check in, giving O'Barry a rest. Ruster, 4 points for the senior so far, gives to Shattuck. Ruster at the logo. Under heavy pressure from Osakwe, Bulldogs try to put one over the top. It's knocked out of bounds, and it will be Quakers' ball. Later trying to drop it in the bucket for Shattuck, but it's a little over the top and out of bounds as Sampaio checks in, replacing Lewis. Getting a starter right back in the Quakers. Montgomery, as Mason continues this full court press that's worked so well for them. The time is counting down. Back to Montgomery. Quakers got to hurry. Montgomery finally gets it over the line, but it's thrown away. Last touch by the Bulldogs. It will stay with the Quakers. Sub coming in for Mason, Lucy Dennis. Sophomore wearing number 4. Long 2, no good from Sampaio. Here come the Bulldogs up 11. Shattuck in the block, works it back outside. Dennis tries to drive, feeds inside to Went. Went in the key, kicks it out of Maya. Thought about it and she walked. Thought about it a little too much and it's a turnover. 3:03 to go in the first. Bulldogs once again with the press. Quakers once again running out of time. That one's thrown away, picked off by Later. Later to the cup, lays it in. That's 9 for the junior. Most of it in transition. Quakers struggling to get the ball out of their own half. That one's knocked away again by Josie Later. Layup is fouled by Montgomery. That'll be her second. From bad to worse for the Quakers, as Montgomery will probably have to take a seat. She's already headed over towards the bench. Azaria Wilson standing up. Looks like she will replace her as Later goes to the stripe. Makes the first, and Later already in double digits as Wilson re-enters the fray. 15-2. Later puts it up, knocks it down. 17-2 the score. Bulldogs have all 5 in the front court. They take it away again. That shot underneath by Amaya's no good. Rebound Quakers trying to get it out, and it's picked off by the Bulldogs once again. This is Dennis trying to feed it down low for Later, off target and out of bounds. 2:16 to go in the first. Bulldogs again. 4 defenders in the attacking half of the floor. And that ball's just thrown away. It's turnovers on turnovers for this Quakers offense. They cannot solve this press. And the Bulldogs have been turning it into free points. Bulldogs will have to set up in the half court for this trip. Dennis, being pressured by Osakwe, gets around her. Over to Later, into the corner. Shattuck wants all 3. No. Up and over the backboard and out of play. Inbound, Christy Palacios gives to Osakwe, back to Palacios. They try to find a way to break this press. Long pass over the top. Wilson, they work it down low. Palacios fires and scores from the low post. She's got 4. And we got a turnover for the Bulldogs as Dennis stepped on the line. So a bucket and a stop for the Quakers real quick, as they try to work their way back into this. Down 17-4, 99 seconds remaining in the first. Wilson. Sampaio gives it up to Osakwe. Back to Wilson, lost the handle, able to save it. Tries to throw it back into the front court. It's taken away by Amaya, who goes the distance. Layup no good. Rebound coming the other way, Wilson. Quakers trying to push the floor. Long pass ahead is too tall even for Leah Palacios, and out of play. Michaela Shaver will check in. The Studio Shop in downtown Williamston is where you'll find a creative boutique featuring hundreds of Michigan-themed gifts and offering many services, including screen printing, laser etching, photography, web development, and branding. From up north to downriver Main Street to Motown, you'll find something for everyone at the Studio Shop in Williamston. Shaver in the wing on the near side. They swing it all the way around. Later drives the baseline, thought about it. Good defense from Christy Palacios to force her to pull it down. Shattuck at the free throw line, spins around, back to Later, tries to drive again. In the low post, 50 seconds to go in the first quarter as Shattuck resets the offense. 17-4, Bulldogs have been dominant. They haven't even had to execute a half-court offense much in this quarter. Later thought about it, gives to Shattuck, tries to drive, feeds underneath. Looking up is Went, backs down, kicks out to Later. Swinging it around again, trying to drive it is Dennis. Back to Later, pump fake. Tries to drive herself, gets all the way through, can't get it to go. Rebound Palacios. Her first miss since the first minute of the ball game. Palacios trying to get it up the floor. Almost a takeaway, but the ball was kicked by Went, and it will stay with the Quakers. 23 seconds to go. I imagine they'll try to work for the final shot of the period. Inbound Palacios. Wilson now, 18 seconds. Over to Christy Palacios, tries to drive, puts the ball on the floor. Later getting on the floor to fight for the jump ball. It'll be Mason basketball. Josie Later has been everywhere for the Bulldogs in this first quarter. Well on her way to a double-double. Already has 10 points. Might have 10 steals by the time this one's over. 7 seconds. Triple teaming later. Over to Shattuck. They swing it around. Dennis for three. No, off the back rim. One more shot for later at the baseline is offline. And that will take us to the end of the first. 17-4 Mason after one. We'll take a quick break and come right back. This is the Mason Sports Network.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Only 4 of 8. Second one, no good as well. Rebound Bulldogs. Under a minute to go in this first half, 24-8 the score. Ruster back to Dennis. Quakers playing high defense out at the perimeter. Doing a really good job denying entry passes here. The Quakers defense has really picked it up here in the second quarter. Ruster, 33 seconds. Mason might be patient here and just try to work for the last shot. We'll see. Dennis back to Ruster again, 25 seconds. Pass in, knocked away by Montgomery. Montgomery trying to run the floor for the Quakers. Takes it in, puts it up through contact, and gets it to go. Montgomery with her first points of the game, finally. 24-10 the score. Pass into Shaver, 5 seconds. Ruster, 3 seconds. Over to Dennis. Just going to pull from way outside. Misses. And that's going to take us to the end of the first half. Got some messages from our sponsors. And then we'll take you to the halftime pep band showcase here from Mason High School. Mason 24, Eastern 10.
Broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.
We got all kinds of stuff going on tonight. We've got the Mason Pep Band in the house blowing the roof off the gym. We've got a couple of games going in front of us. It is a hot halftime. You are watching live on MasonSN.com. We've got about 3 minutes left in halftime, folks, before we see the teams come back out. Thank you to the Mason Pep Band and all the folks who make that possible. To the smaller basketball players on the court, I know we're not giving you guys your play-by-play yet, but you'll earn that one day. To the fans and families that are out there, welcome to the show. We'll let you listen in. I want to welcome everybody back live to Mason. You are watching women's basketball here tonight. This is a CAC Red matchup between Mason and Eastern. Your score right now, Hometown Bulldogs up 24-10. This is the Mason Sports Network. We are the Lansing Herald Media Group, family-owned and independent out of Hazlitt. We've been with you guys for a number of years now, and to the point where we knew you guys couldn't always watch what you wanted to watch for various reasons, and we worked with the school here to come in and do some of these games. So we're just getting our feet wet in all of this, so we're looking forward to having more games, more Mason moments wherever you are. Guys, we welcome you in. Watch the TV channel that you're watching now. We're going to rotate these games on throughout the course of the week. Looks like the women are back on the court, and we're going to hand this over to Colton Wesley. Your second half coming up now.
Second half underway here in Mason. Eastern moving left to right across your screen, Mason right to left in this third quarter. Shot is up and knocked out of bounds. It will stay here with the Quakers. Inbound to Palacios. Gives it up to Montgomery, who takes a hard fall. Helmel picks up the ball, loses it. Coming the other way, Ava Ruster feeds down low. Layup is good. Josie Later once again. Pass by Montgomery, picked off by O'Barry. O'Barry throws it on ahead to Ruster. Fed down low, shot by Later, no good. But she's going to the free throw line. Be the third foul on Ileana Montgomery. First free throw from Later is good. Later had an impressive first half. 16 points. And if she makes this free throw, she'll have 20 for the game. And she does. 4 for 4 from the stripe. As Mason begins the second quarter on second half rather on a 4-0 run. That pass picked off. The attempt by Wilson, shot by Shattuck, no good. Offensive rebound and another foul. No, it's a jump ball, excuse me. Baseline inbound for Mason. Amaya tries to drive the baseline, rips one down the line to Shattuck outside later for 3, no good. Rebound underneath is knocked out of bounds, and it will stay right here. Shattuck inbounds into the corner. Amaya. Barry backs down. Over to Later, drives through the key. Layup no good. Offensive rebound, rebound knocked out of bounds. It will be Eastern basketball. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. Wilson checks out, Sampaio back in. Ileana Montgomery over to Sampaio. Montgomery again double teamed. Throws it over the top looking for Lewis Goddard. Lewis drives the key. Layup. No. Rebound Jocelyn Shattuck. Quakers have gotten more open looks here in the second and third quarters, but haven't been able to cash in. Bulldogs have to work it out of the corner, in and out of the hands of Shattuck. Loose ball picked up by Helmel. Sampaio tries to drive. O'Barry forces her into the corner. They work it out to Montgomery. Drives at the right, through the key, kicks it out to Lewis. Helmel up top. Helmel, hands off, Sampaio. Sampaio, pump fakes, drives, taken away. Celia Amaya picks her pocket, goes the length of the floor, stops, pulls, bucket. 30-10, and the Bulldogs have reasserted control here in this third quarter after the Quakers started putting something together down the stretch in the second. Sampaio lost the handle. Later gets it poked away from her, but that's going to be a foul on Lewis, her third. So the two Quakers defenders who have provided most of the spark, Ileana Montgomery and Rihanna Lewis, now both have 3 fouls, and they're both subbing off. Excuse me. Montgomery is sent back into the fray. Rihanna Lewis will take a seat. Ruster. Shattuck into the corner. Later wants a triple. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound went to Ruster. Ruster tries to feed down low. Amaya has to check to it, finds it, wrestles it away from the defense, sends it back out to Ruster, and she's fouled in the process. Celia Amaya making a heck of a play right there. Leah Palacios will pick up her first foul of the game as Lucy Dennis gives Ruster a break. Inbound into the corner. Dennis wants 3. Yes! Lucy Dennis, her first bucket of the game. 33-10. Palacios gives to Montgomery, cuts it back, gives herself some space, gives it back. Helmel tries to drive, kicks it back out long 2, is off the side iron for Christy Palacios. Bulldogs with it, 4:45 to go in the third. They lead 33-10. Dennis. Shattuck. Eastern's dropping back off into that zone that worked so well in the second quarter. Outside Later wants 3. No good. Rebound underneath. Good work by Zoe Wendt. Getting the board, establishing position, and putting it back for 2. And that pass is picked off by Later, blocked on the way up by Palacios and out of bounds. But the Bulldogs will keep the basketball, an 11-0 run to start this third quarter. Lydia Shattuck back into the game for Mason. Dennis gets open on the screen, no, from 3. Rebound Montgomery. That's what Mason likes to do on these inbound plays, just try to set up a screen. Sometimes they use the whole team to set up that screen. Montgomery comes back across on the crossover, but can't get the three to go. A good open look there for Montgomery. Just can't get anything to go down tonight. From the free throw line, Jocelyn Shattuck makes her first bucket of the game, and Mason's going to call a timeout. 3:53 to go in the third. A 13-0 run to start this third quarter here on Mason Sports Network. At Mason Family Dentistry, their goal is to provide optimal comprehensive dental care while making your treatment as comfortable as possible. With a belief in long-term relationships built upon clear communication, they strive to achieve healthy smiles through quality restorative and cosmetic services. Mason Family Dentistry is committed to serving you and helping make your dental experience more enjoyable. They welcome any questions or special requests that would allow your visit to be comfortable. To learn more, visit their website, masonfamilydentistry.com, or call them directly, 517-676-3770. Some Mason pep band for you here in this third quarter. 37-10. It looked like the Quakers were putting something together in that second quarter. Defensively, they were doing a good job of keeping the Bulldogs from getting into the key, denying them good shots. And they scored a transition bucket or two themselves down the stretch in that quarter as well. Looked like they were starting to piece something together, but the Bulldogs have come out and dominated this third quarter. Montgomery, Palacios, 2 from the low block, no good. Rebound, Zoe Went, and we're going to get a jump ball. It's going to stay here with the Bulldogs. Zoe Went, sophomore off the bench, has played very well in her minutes tonight. Pretty decent rebounder, comfortable around the rim, can create opportunities with her back to the basket. That's a foul on Lucy Dennis, her first. Inbound Palacios. Sampaio. Hands off to Montgomery, crosses over. Pulling from long range is Christy Palacios, and she buries the deuce. 37-12, excuse me. Liza Ruster tries to get it up the floor, turns it over, coming the other way. Montgomery shoots, scores, and one. Excuse me, that is Osakwe. Chidubem Osakwe through the contact. Second foul on Lydia Shattuck. And Osakwe will get a chance for the and one. Free throw's no good. Rebound, Abby Myers. Liza Ruster over to Went. Lydia Shattuck moving to the left. They're going to swing it around. Jocelyn Shattuck in the wing on the far side. Shattuck back to Lydia Shattuck. Went outside. Amaya thought about it. Kicks it out instead for Ruster. Gets it to go! Liza Ruster, the sophomore. She's got 6. 40-14. An offensive flurry for Mason in this third quarter. Shot from the low block by Osakwe is no good. Rebound, Liza Ruster. Ruster gets it into Went. Out to Amaya. Amaya thought about it, tries to get it back inside. It's knocked away by Montgomery. Throws it ahead to Sampaio. One between her and the hoop, goes up through contact. Ruster forces the miss. Coming the other way is Shattuck. Under 2 to go, 40-14. Shattuck, Went, goes up, no good, going to the free throw line. It's It's going to be on Osakwe, her third. First free throw is no good from Went. Michaela Osayo in the game for the first time, along with Azaria Wilson. 1:47 to go in the third, 40-14. Zoe Went in and out. Lydia Shattuck tries to get to the board, gives it up to Jocelyn Shattuck, who buries the shot from the low post. 42-14. A minute and a half to go in this third quarter. Montgomery across the way to Wilson. Wilson to Montgomery, and that's going to be over and back. This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century of sports. Help celebrate 100 years of the MHSAA by visiting them online. See exclusive content about the people, places, and things that make school sports so special. Rivalries, records, and remembering some of the state's top players. Relive it all. MHSAA.com. And thank you to everyone who has been a part of a century of sports. Final minute and 20 of this third quarter. Into the corner, Lydia Shattuck gets it poked away, saves it, tries to get it back into Jocelyn Shattuck across the way. Ruster pulls up from the elbow, no. Rolls around and drops out. Rebound, Ileana Montgomery. Montgomery tries to push the floor. Amaya in her hip pocket. Montgomery through contact, can't get it to go. It's a charge. Montgomery can't get a call tonight. Montgomery doesn't like the call, and it was a close one as Olivia Sampaio checks in to replace her. 3 new faces on for Mason. Smoker, O'Berry, and Later all back in. Joining Shaver and Ava Ruster. O'Berry, as they quickly break the Quakers press. Over to Later. Back to the top, Shaver. Ruster. Quakers in that zone defense, trying to keep the Bulldogs out at the perimeter. Later. Defended by Wilson all the way across. Ruster into the corner. Now inside, trying to go up is Smoker. And I think Osaya might have gotten a piece of that. Shot's no good. Coming the other way, the Quakers. Down by 28. Trying to drive with the left to Sampaio down the baseline. Fades away. No. Rebound, Shaver, 23 seconds. Shaver gets away. And she'll carry it up the floor. 18 seconds. Over to Later. They're going to hold for the last shot here. Later being defended by Osakwe. 8 seconds now. Over to O'Berry, who has all day. Shoots the 3 off the heel, no good. Rebound, out of bounds with 1.3 to go. It'll be Eastern basketball. Unless they have some kind of miracle full court play, that should probably be the end of the third. They will send Rihanna Lewis back in, replacing Palacios. So maybe Lewis is their designated half-court shot taker. I guess not. Inbounding to Sampaio, and she doesn't release until well after the horn. That'll take us to the end of 3. We'll step aside for a moment, come back. Mason basketball on MasonSN.com.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
I'm Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason Hometown Realtors.
In firm control now. They almost turn it over, but Rust are able to pick it back up. They feed underneath to O'Barry, and she walks. 7:40 to go in this fourth quarter. 42-14. Mason well on their way to going for their third win of the season. Haven't won a game in a month, so it's going to feel good. And as we talked about at the start, 4 of their last 5 losses have come by 5 points or less. So it's not that Mason lacks talent. What they've lacked is the ability to close out games. Well, today they're going to get out of here with a dub. That shot by Wilson is no good. Later, in the corner, back to the free throw line, O'Barry, swinging around, Shaver, open look, no good. Rebound underneath by Later, tries to go up through contact, ball gets knocked free. Back to Smoker, baseline 2, no good. Rebound coming the other way with it is Wilson. Wilson tries to break through the double team, but loses it out of bounds as Abby Myers, the senior, checks in for the first time tonight, replacing O'Barry. Helmel and Christy Palacios will enter. Casimir Muriel in the game as well, so both teams going to put in the reserves here. Under 7 to go. Give the players at the end of the bench some minutes in this fourth quarter. Ruster back out to Smoker. Swings it over to Later. Later gets it poked away by Helmel. Pass inside by Smoker, knocked up in the air. Ava Ruster able to come down with it and get away from that pressure somehow into Myers. Outside Smoker, working it around. 3-ball Ruster. Airballs it short. Rebound Smoker. We got a whistle underneath. That's going to be a foul on Shaver, I believe. We're going to say she pushed off on the rebound attempt. That'll be her second. And with 6:24 to go in the fourth, the Quakers will take over. Still trailing 42-14. Quakers have only averaged about 30 points a game this season. Just haven't been able to get the offense working and trying to figure out who can handle the ball. As Montgomery tries to drive out to Palacios. Palacios tries the bounce pass out to Helmel. It's offline, picked off by the Bulldogs. Here comes Ava Ruster. Ruster feeds underneath. Shaver is blocked. Oh, Christy Palacios going to think that was clean. That is her first. And going to the free throw line is Shaver, trying to get in the book. Sophomore's seen a lot of minutes tonight, but doesn't have any points yet. First free throw is no good. Off the side iron. 6 minutes even left in this one. 42-14 the score. Second one rolls around, no good. Rebound Quakers. Palacios to Montgomery. Montgomery will run the point. They've moved Palacios outside the perimeter more in the second half just so they can try to get her the ball more. Montgomery tries to drive, feeds down low. It's knocked away and taken away by Later. Later trying to lead the charge. Got Ruster out in front of her, but she decides to stop. Pass across to Shaver. Now Ruster will reset the play from the top. 5:30 to go in the fourth. Bounce pass Smoker back to the free throw line. Good offense. Works the open look for Later, who knocks it down. She's got 22. As much as half of the points for the Bulldogs have come from Josie Later. It hasn't just been the Josie Later show. The offense has found creative ways not just to get her the ball, but to score in transition predominantly. It's one of the reasons why she has so many points, is because she's such a good defender in the front court. We got a whistle and a tie-up. Quakers will inbound from under the basket, under 5 to go. Into Leah Palacios. Back to Muriel. Palacios hands it off to Montgomery. Almost lost the handle. Muriel thinking about it, over to Montgomery again. Crosses over, picks up the screen. Montgomery step back 3. No, off the front rim. Rebound Palacios. Tries to split the defense, and she's fouled. 4:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Make your gift-giving opportunities an experience and not just a chore on a checklist. Keen's Store Company in downtown Mason has wonderful and unique gifts for everyone on your list. In a store that will bring back memories while making new ones. With 2 floors of unique items, every corner has something worth treasuring. Open 7 days a week. You can visit them at any time. That last foul was on Juliet Smoker, her second. And this one's going to be on Michaela Shaver, her third. It'll be the third on the Bulldogs in this fourth quarter, so no free throws yet for the Quakers, trailing by 30. And now the Quakers will call a timeout, of course, immediately after our first ad read of the fourth quarter, because that's always what happens. The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Lansing Herald Media Group. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and the Lansing Herald Media Group. (44-14), Mason still in front. A nice way to return to action for us after our semester break here on Mason SN. Inbound Sampaio. Over to Montgomery, who tries to drive. Forced back into the corner. Montgomery wants 3. And I think somebody might have got a touch on that. I think Liza Ruster might have got a piece of it. Rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it will be Mason ball with 4:15 to go. Our next action will be a week from Friday for the Mason women as they take on Williamston. We'll have that game on masonsn.com. Layup underneath. Missed. Rebound Montgomery. Long pass ahead, in and out of the hands of Helmel. Coming the other way, Abby Myers. Amaya in the wing, works it back to the top. Bounce past Myers. Myers gets it knocked away from her. Loose ball picked up by Ruster. Ruster crosses over, tries to drive, kicks into the corner. Abby Myers down low. Amaya outside. Long 2, Lydia Shattuck, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will be Eastern basketball, 3:30 to go, as a new 5 comes in for the Quakers. Muriel, Osakwe, Wilson, Lewis, and Osayo. Looks like that will be the 5 that will see this one out for the Quakers. 44-14 with 3.5 minutes to go. Lewis passes picked off. Liza Ruster takes it in. Layup is missed. Rebound Wilson. Wilson across to Lewis. Lewis working on Shattuck. Works it out to Wilson. Pink shoes on pink shoes. Hands it off to Lewis. Tries to drive into the low block. Knocked away. Picked up by the Bulldogs. Liza Ruster. Abby Myers, back to Ruster. Crosses over. Into the corner, Lydia Shattuck pump fakes. Back out up top to Ruster. 2:40 to go. Cross court, Amaya. Amaya inside, Ruster drives, layup, no. Rebound underneath by Went. Went tries to go back up, it's knocked away. Good defense by Rihanna Lewis, but that ball's poked back out to Amaya. Amaya to Myers. Swung around into the corner, Shattuck tries to drive, floater down the baseline is good. Lydia Shattuck in the book. 46-14, 2 1/4 to go. Wilson over to Lewis. Back up top, Osakwe. Working the ball around on the near side. 2 minutes to go now. Trying to drive with it as Wilson down the baseline, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds, it'll be Mason ball. Once again, I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors who make these games possible. The Robert Dowden Group of Keller Williams Realty, the Studio Shop in Williamson, Keenes of Mason, and Mason Family Dentistry. Got a whistle and a foul on Lewis. That is her 4th. And Shattuck will inbound from the scorer's table. It is all academic from this point. And Ruster is fouled. That might be the 5th on Lewis. It is the 5th on Lewis. She will exit, and Olivia Helmel will check in. Shattuck will inbound into the corner. Open look, went 3. No. It took a second. Ball thought about it, but bounced off the back iron, then the front rim, and then out. Last touch by the Quakers. Out of bounds. Inbound coming up for the Bulldogs. Into the corner. Amaya thought about it, puts it on the floor instead, tries to drive, goes up. No good off the heel. Rebound tipped out to Amaya. Lydia Shattuck. They're going to swing it around. Back down low, Amaya tries to dribble through traffic, off the glass and in. Ciela Amaya, 48-14. Into Osaya. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Quakers. 1:11 to go in the 4th. Well, the initial signal was last touch by the Quakers, but the other referee seems to disagree, and will give the ball to Eastern. Long inbound over the top is picked off by Myers. Myers tries to dribble with it, and she's fouled. Fouled by Osakwe. I believe that is her 4th. So we're not shooting free throws yet here. 1:08 to go. It's the 4th on Eastern. Mason will be in the bonus if there is another foul. Liza Ruster over to Myers. Went. Back up top, Ruster. Across the way, Shattuck tries to drive. They're going to work it around. Ruster, Myers, into the corner. Went. Floater down the baseline, no good. Rebound knocked up in the air. Amaya's got it. Tries to pass it out to the perimeter. Shattuck inside Amaya. Amaya tries to back down a little block. Back out to Went. Open look, long 2. No, off the heel, Amaya. Amaya goes up with the right and gets it off the glass. Good bucket from Amaya, 50-14. $30 seconds to go in this one. The Mason Bulldogs will move to 3-8. Eastern Quakers will drop to 0-8. A good way for this semester to start for this Mason team. 3-ball from the corner is good. Chidubem Osakwe buries the triple. It's a consolation 3, but a 3 nonetheless. We'll celebrate it. 50-17, and that will take us to the end of this one. Mason Bulldogs, your winners tonight. Final score 50-17. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. Thank you to Autumn on the camera and Glenn Dudasek, our producer. I'm Colton Wesley. For all of us at Mason Sports Network, we'll see you next time. You have been watching Mason Women's Basketball on Mason Sports Network.
Robert Dowding, associate broker and owner of the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Originally from Eaton Rapids, my family and I now call Mason our home. On your next real estate transaction, put our over 30 years of experience and market knowledge to work for you. Call myself or Danielle French at the Robert Dowding Group today. We are your Mason hometown realtors.